In this battle, we're going to be testing the ability of spear units of different weight classes to hold against charging heavy shock cavalry. So here we have Germanic Spearmasters, and these units have expert charge defense and spear wall. So one unit is going to be in spear wall, one unit is going to be just in a standard spaghetti formation. Then we have Germanic Spears. They're also heavy, but they are a bit less sturdy than the Germanic Spearmasters. Both in spear wall and outside of spear wall. Here we have Germanic Levy in spear wall, only light spears. And here we have Germanic Levy in spaghetti. So we're going to see how well they stand up here, because when they are only 2 ranks deep center and 1 rank deep at the flanks, they're not going to be able to get the optimal bracing bonuses. They're going to be able to cover a wider portion of the battlefield, be less vulnerable to missiles. But let's see how well they hold here against the charge of the War. So the War go in and they lose quite a few men on the charge, disengage, lose even more. Germanic Spearmasters lost about 20 men from that charge. And this is in just a standard spaghetti. The War lose about 10 men on the charge. The Germanic Spearmasters don't get knocked down to a significant degree, which helps them to kill War cataphracts when they try to disengage. This is a very good result for the Germanic Spearmasters. Now the thing is though, that the Germanic Spearmasters that were in a wide formation, they're going to reform. There's a bug with defensive formations where upon contact with the enemy, the unit reforms like this and moves forward on the battlefield, just without giving any orders to it. So it's not fixed. Still, this gives them better bracing against the War, and the War would have needed to match the formation to avoid getting bogged down like this, and they're losing a lot of men here on the disengage. So second charge against the Germanic Spears, lost 17 on the first charge. Now they are dropping down to, let's see here, dropping down to 80, about 80 men. The War being pulled out, and the War are now off the field. Germanic Spearmasters losing 38 men, so not a bad result for the Germanic Spearmasters. And over here, the Germanic Spearmasters activated Headhunt for some reason. Another charge by the War, and because this unit reforms, it does a worse job than the spaghetti Germanic Spearmasters, and that's just a testament to how bugged the defensive formations are. The spear wall continues moving forward, which is in no small part a problem in itself. So in my opinion, safer choice, just don't use the spear wall when you're going to be cycle charged. Now next up we have the Germanic Spears. They're going to be charged by the War cataphracts. This is the unit that is in spear wall, and this is the unit that is in standard spaghetti. It's always annoying when a formation that has a specific purpose is worse at that specific purpose than just putting your guys in a formation 2 ranks deep. That's a bit annoying. Let's see, the charge is going to hit the wall, and matching the formation of the Germanic Spearmen means that the War take significant casualties on the charge. Also because they penetrate, some of the units are going to be killed disengaging. So this was a horrible charge for the War, only managing to kill 40 Germanic Spears and losing almost the same number themselves. Against the spaghetti, let's see how they do. Lose about 10 men directly on the charge. Germanic Spearmen lose about 30 men from that charge. And again, the formation reforms. War cataphracts losing a huge number of men. Losing 37 men from that one charge. This is how you make cavalry cost inefficient in Attila. It's hard to do, but charging into braced spears would do it. especially if the spears are heavy. But light spears tend to be fairly cheap, so even, I mean, you deal with spears by sending in melee infantry. You don't deal with spears by sending in shock cavalry, or melee cavalry for that matter. If you can catch the spears on the move, that's great. If you can rear charge the spears, that's great. But charging spears with expert charge defense is a very shady prospect. Still, I mean, there's enough melee infantry, enough shock infantry to deal with the spears anyway, so there's no need. Germanic Levy takes more casualties on the charge, but look at what happens to the Grippenvar. The Grippenvar lose the Grippenvar lose 35 men charging into Germanic Levy. Now the Germanic Levy in Spaghetti finally do worse than the Germanic Levy that wasn't in Spaghetti, and this is the best result for the Grippenvar. Running into light spears frontally, managing to break the Germanic Levy basically instantly. The Germanic Levy has reformed here. The Grippenvar do not match the width of the formation, which is going to be a problem when they disengage. So they actually lose against Germanic Levy in a denser formation here. And over here they defeat the Germanic Levy decisively. So all of the spears were actually able to hold off a frontal cavalry charge, which is nice. It's just not so nice that the defensive formation bugs out, moves forward, and reforms. Sure, a denser formation would be nice if you were able to use denser formations on the battlefield. But since the maps are the way they are, huge, open, well, they're not huge, but mostly open, with a lack of features where you can use spears to block approaches, then going in denser formations is not really something you're going to be seeing on the battlefield, because if your formation is this wide, it's going to be much harder to flank than if your formation is this wide. It's going to be a disaster, and you're going to take more damage from missiles. So overall, the spears did a fairly good job against the shock cavalry, with the exception of the Germanic Levy. But the amount of kills the Germanic Levy got on the Grippenvar cataphracts is close to making them cost effective. Strength and honor.